Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Limbus Company. We are picking right back up where we left off, which is just entering the front gates of Wuthering Heights. I'm excited to see what happens. The heavy rain and the tempest only grew harsher the closer we got to the manor.
대문을 넘었는데도 사람은 코빼기도 보이지 않는군.
Though we have long made it past the front gate, not a soul doth appear. The bubbling excitement of the sinners when they disembarked the bus had all but disappeared. A silent air of apprehension surrounded them as they gingerly took their hesitant steps towards the manor.
캐시, 잘 지냈어? 아니야. 캐서린, 오랜만이야. 아니야 이것도.
Kathy, have you been well? No. Catherine, it's been a while, hasn't it? No, this ain't it either. In the midst of this aura of uneasiness, only Heathcliff seemed to be preoccupied by something else. The rest of the sinners were...
봤어?
Did you catch that?
새였다. 정확히는 참새의 일종이었다.
A bird. A subspecies of sparrows, to be exact.
정문을 지났는데도 이 공격적인 낭르는 계속되는군.
Lightning continues to strike aggressively, even this far past the front gate.
조금만 가까이 있었으면 저희도 같은 신세였을 거예요.
We would have been burned to a crisp had it struck even a little closer. Lightning continued to blast the earth as though it wouldn't be satisfied until it's reduced every living thing in the manor grounds to a pile of ashes.
빨리 걷자니 벼락 맞을 것 같고 천천히 걷자니 또 벼락을 맞을 것 같고.
Is it gonna hit us if we walk faster? Or maybe it hits things that are moving too slowly. Maybe we should speed up? I don't know.
이동 속도와는 관련이 없는 것 같다. 마치 벼락 자체가 의지를 가지고 목표를 맞추려는 것처럼 보이니. 의지를 가진 번개라 재수없는 것이 떠오르는군.
Our walking speed seems irrelevant. Instead, it's almost as if the lightning has a will of its own, striking with intent. This brings back some unpleasant memories.
아, 어쩌면 이 집의 방어 시스템은 아닐까요?
Oh, maybe it's like this house's defense system?
방어, 보안 장치를 말하는 것이요.
Defense system? Do you imply that this may be a part of the manor's security measures?
허가받지 않고 이 저택 안에 들어오는 것한테만 번개가 내리치는 걸 수도요.
Maybe it only targets things that enter the manor grounds without permission?
이것보다 더 정교하고 확실한 장치도 많았거든요.
I've seen security measures that are more precise and more conclusive than this.
크기가 커다란 저택일수록 더 효과적인 보안 장치들을 설치하곤 하니까요.
Large manors often do install more effective security systems after all.
아, 저희 집에서도 보안 장치에 대한 이야기가 저녁 식사 이야기거리로 올라오곤 했던 것 같아요.
Oh, I think our family talked about installing a defense system at our home too. It was one of those topics that kept coming up during dinner.
말이 안 되는 건 아니네요. 그렇다고 이런 사고방식이 이해된다는 건 아니지만.
That would make sense. Not that I'll ever understand the thought process behind these systems.
LCCB 팀이 접근하지 못했다던 보안 체계란 것이 혹여.
Perhaps the security measures that prevented the before team from approaching the manor may be...
네. 하지만 저희는 초대장이 있잖아요. 안심하고 걸어도 될 것 같다는 소리예요.
Yeah, but we have the invitation with us. I think we'll be just fine. Is that really all this is? Is this just one of those normal security measures that every rich family supposedly has?
하지만 조금 신기하긴 하네요. 날씨를 조정하는 시스템은 비효율적일 정도로 어마어마한 금액이 들어간다고 해서 직접 본 적은 없었거든요.
This is pretty interesting though. I heard that the technology to change the weather itself is really, really expensive, to the point of being inefficient. So expensive that I've not seen it myself. I remained silent because I didn't want to concern the sinners with something I wasn't sure about. But the closer we got to the manor, the more confident I became that something was off. That this extremely abnormal weather isn't the work of some security system. This absolutely has something to do with the Golden Bough. But this Golden Bough feels different from the ones we've encountered before. It's a bit more chaotic.
이 꽃은
Oh? Huh. These flowers.
색깔이 있네요.
They've got color. Sinclair was right. The manor's garden was lightly littered with flowers. They were the only things of color in this dreary sight.
이 꽃 이름이 뭘까요?
I wonder what these flowers are called.
혹시 말이야,
돈을 지불한다면 꽃에도 색을 되찾게 할 수 있는 건가?
Huh. I guess you can return the colors even to flowers if you've coughed up enough cash.
그렇습니다.
그렇다는 것은 이 집안의 인물은 꽃을 무척이나 사랑했던 것이겠구려.
Indeed. Then the proprietor of this manor must have held a particular love for these flowers.
곧 시들어버릴 꽃에도 색을 넣을 정도라니.
To return the colors to such transient things as flowers,
혹은 어마어마한 갑부이거나.
or perhaps it may simply be that they are preposterously affluent. Heathcliff quietly gazed at the patches of violet flowers as Yisong mused out loud.
틀렸어.
You're wrong.
꽃을 무척이나 사랑했던 것은 아니었을 거야.
There was no particular love for these flowers.
그 마음이 꽃까지 들어갈 정도로 넓고 따뜻하진 않았으니까.
There was no room, no warmth in that heart to spare for mere flowers. Heathcliff appeared to be so doleful that I felt as though he had built a tall, opaque wall between himself and the world. I could not bring myself to ask further. He did not tell us the name of those flowers.
아이고, 어서 오세요.
My, oh my, please come this way. Someone hurriedly runs this way for the manor's front door, holding a lantern.
날씨가 참 말썽이죠. 하긴 티사는 워더링 하이츠는 화창한 적이 드물지만요.
What an awful weather, huh? Well, T-Corp is, the Wuthering Heights manor is rarely ever sunny, but this is quite the storm.
어,
Long
오랜만이야, 넬리.
time no see, Nellie.
세상에 히스클리프? 정말 너구나.
My word, Heathcliff? Is that you? It really is you.
응.
Yeah.
네가 그렇게 떠난 후에 어떻게 살았는지 정말. 아휴, 밥은 제대로 먹고 다니는지, 어디서 맞고 다니진 않는지.
You haven't the slightest idea how worried I was since you left. Have you been eating well? You've not been bullied by a rough crowd, have you? What?
우리가 그동안 소식을 얼마나 궁금해했는데.
We've wanted to hear from you for so long.
자, 들어와.
Do come in now, come in.
어,
Miss Nellie regarded us with a curious look, as though she didn't quite understand what we were supposed to be.
설마 여러분은
If I may be so bold as to presume,
우리 히스클리프의 친구분들인가요?
would you be our dear Heathcliff's friends?
네, 뭐
Yeah, well,
친구 해도 되는 건가요?
friends? Are we?
친구의 범위를 어디까지로 인식하고 있을지에 따라 답변이 다르다.
The answer to that question hinges on the range of affinity one would define as a delineation that separates friends from acquaintances.
그럼 죽을 뻔한 모험을 몇 번이나 겪은 소중한 친구들이지.
Of course we're friends. Precious friendship forged in fire. Multiple fires, actually.
히스클리프의 소중한 친구들이 곧 있으면 비에 쫄딱 맞아서 얼어 죽을지도 모르겠군.
Your dear Heathcliff's precious friends are about to freeze to death. Your dear Heathcliff's precious friends are about to freeze to their deaths in the rain, woman.
귀한 분들이 오셨네요. 아이고, 내 정신 좀 봐. 얼른 들어오세요, 얼른. 저택은 따뜻할 거예요.
My, what honorable guests I welcome to this place today. I must be all over the place to leave you all standing in the rain. Come in now, come in. It's a tad warmer in here than it is outside. The interiors of Wuthering Heights were dark, yet
정말 저택 안에는 색이 있어.
this manor doth have color. Its hue appeared a tad faded from its original vibrancy, but there was color in this manor.
말했잖아. 저택에서는 색이 보였다고.
What'd I tell you? I could see color inside this manor.
이것도 뭐 돈을 내서 가져온 거지만
Well, it's all bought by money anyway.
저택에 걸린 이 랜턴들이 있으면 색을 돌려받을 수 있다던가.
Believe it or not, there's something about these lanterns hanging about the manor that brings back color.
본래의 색을 밝혀주는 랜턴이구려. 꽤 값진 기구일 텐데.
Ah, the lanterns that return the object's original saturation. These are quite the expensive luxuries, are they not?
그래도 완전한 색을 돌려받지 못해. 어딘가 칙칙하지.
It still doesn't return all the color. Things remain a bit gloomy. That's not what he said, but it's what he says now.
그런데 캐시는 어디?
So, where's Kathy?
히스클리프, 지금까지 어떻게 지낸 거야? 응? 잠은 어디서 자고? 밥은 잘 먹고 다닌 거 맞아? 좀 야윈 것 같은데.
Heathcliff, please tell me of your life since you left us, huh? Where have you been staying? Have you been eating well? My, have you lost weight?
나는
Huh? I...
그래도 너무 늦지 않아서 다행이야. 다들 널 기다리고 있었거든.
I'm glad your delay wasn't too substantial. We've all been waiting for your arrival.
다들?
We?
그러고 보니 옷차림이 못 본 사이에 달라지고 아주 멀끔한 신사가 되었네? 친구들도 많이 생겼고.
Now let me get a better look at you. The refined dress clothes, the hair. My, you've certainly grown into a right proper gentleman, haven't you? Quite the popular lad you are, with a posse of friends and all.
뭐 그래?
Well, did I?
그럼 멀리서 보면 하나도 못 알아보겠다.
But of course, I would not have recognized you from a distance. Nellie was talking so fast that Heathcliff wasn't spared even a second to get in a single word.
넬리라고 했나?
Nellie, was it?
정확히 어떤 사이지? 우린 그의 소중한 친구이자 동료이며 전우들이라 어떤 사이인지가 무척이나 궁금하군.
What is your precise relation to Heathcliff? As his precious friend, colleague, and comrade at arms, I cannot help but be curious as to how you two know each other. Otis, who was conspicuously scanning the interiors of the manor, suddenly asked Nellie the most transparently suspicious question that I've ever heard.
아, 나는 말이지. 히스클리프의 이를테면
Oh, I'm... let's see, Heathcliff's... how should I put this?
보모라고 해야 했나?
Nanny, I suppose.
보모요?
Nanny?
코 흘리고 있으면 닦아주고 옷 갈아입혀주고 하는 보모요? 히스클리프 씨?
What, like, you wipe Heathcliff's snot, change his baby clothes, and... am I thinking of the right nanny?
밥을 먹기 거부할 때는 밥을 떠먹여주기도 하고요.
And when the baby's fussy about the food, nanny spoon-feed it to them.
아이 넬리 그런 식으로 소개하지 마.
Oi, Nellie, quit teasing me like that.
보모라고 하기에는 조금 달랐잖아.
You weren't exactly my nanny, and you know that.
우린 어렸을 때부터 서로를 알고 지냈어.
We've known each other since we were both young.
그리고 난 넬리를 하인처럼 부리거나 보모처럼 따르진 않았거든.
And I did not treat her like a servant and follow her around like she was my nanny.
그리고 지금은 엄연히 치프 버틀러라고. 내 말 한마디에 군기가 바짝 드는 버틀러들이 얼마나 많은데.
Oh, mind you, I am now the chief butler of the house. You must see the other butlers moving around like soldiers when I give the word.
뭐 네가 제일 일을 빠릿하게 잘했으니까.
Well, you are the best at your job.
그런데 나 슬슬 인내심이 금방이라도 끊어질 것 같아서 말이야. 넬리,
Nellie, I'm getting quite impatient, so I've got to ask. Heathcliff must have wanted so badly to ask where Kathy was.
연애는 언제 시작이야?
So when's the banquet starting? Instead, he hid his true question behind a mask of aloofness. But Nellie's expression became somewhat odd upon hearing Heathcliff's query.
연회는
The banquet...
어이, 그 막내네 새끼 오긴 하는 거야 뭐야?
Oh, when's that witless brigand coming? Is he even on his way?
사람을 불러 모아놓고 사라지면 어쩌자는 거지? 언제까지 이 꼴보기 싫은 얼굴들을 마주보고 있어야 하냐고?
You can't just leave after gathering us all down here. If I have to sit any second longer next to these mugs, I'm gonna lose it. There was a furious voice echoing from down the halls.
넬리, 잠깐. 방금 그 목소린
Nellie? Wait, I recognize that voice.
아이 참, 안 그래도 막 왔어요.
Don't rush, he just arrived, mind you.
히스클리프 들어가자. 모두가 널 기다리고 있다고 했잖아.
Let's join the others, Heathcliff. Like I said, we've all been waiting for your arrival. Heathcliff bit his lips anxiously and followed Nellie.
파티를 하는 듯한 분위기는 확실히 아닌 것 같은데.
This doesn't feel at all like a manor that's about to throw a party.
네. 그때 크루즈 파티나 이곳에서나
Yeah, that cruise ship party, this manor.
아무리 감추려고 해도 말이죠. 공간에서부터 나오는 음침한 분위기는 숨길 수가 없더라고요.
You can't hide the rising sense of dread from places like these. Doesn't matter how hard you try.
평소에도 활기찼던 저택은 아닌 듯하다.
This manor does not appear to have been a place where liveliness is an expected element.
청소를 급하게 했지만 오로지 손님 맞이를 위한 용도일 뿐. 곳곳에 균열이 있고 보수가 필요한 부분이 보인다.
I see signs of rushed cleaning conducted immediately before the guests arrived. Several cracks and areas in need of repair that have been identified as well. I can't read today. Also,
즐거운 파티를 기대했던 건 아니지만 마음이 제법 슬프네.
I was scant expecting a raucous party, yet this is quite the depressing presentation. I followed Don Quixote to the halls. She appeared terribly disappointed. Well, I wonder what could possibly happen. Those guys definitely sound like party goers, huh? Alright. Two people sat by a dying hearth, surrounded by their respective posse. It was quite apparent from the way they sat opposite of one another that their relationship was far from amicable. On one end was a group of people dressed in mysterious masks, surrounding a jumpy-looking man who looked like he was one little nudge away from hollering foul insults at everyone. On the other end was a group of people dressed in identical uniforms. Sinclair told me that they were wearing the outfit that most manor employees wear to each other. One of them stood out, as he was the only one among them in a black suit. He appeared somewhat uncomfortable. It seemed as though he was in a great deal of pain merely by being here. And between the two groups were...
해결사들이요! 저 복장은 분명 외우피 협회에서 온 자들!
Fixers! I recognize their outfits. Forsooth, they must be fixers from the Oofy Association.
외우피 협회는 보통
I probably said that
중요한
wrong,
일을
but
뺏기도
oh
힘든
well.
것들이 다
It is quite rare to even get a sighting of a single Oofy fixer. They requireth quite the momentous occasion to even grace us with their presence. Okay, alright. We'll have time to ask for autographs later. Alright, later. I had to coax Don Quixote, who was practically quivering, from immediately running to them for signatures. Because we had unintentionally become the center of attention from the entire room. The center of a very negative attention.
맙소사, 기어코 그가 돌아오고 말았어요. 워더링 하이츠의 수치인 그 망할 자식이.
By gum, that vagabond has returned. The bloody shame of Wuthering Heights.
여전하네, 조세핀.
Same old Josephine, huh?
뻔뻔하게 들어오는 꼬락서니 좀 보라지. 우리 마님이 보신다면 얼마나 기겁하실까.
Look at him strutting about like he owns this place. If our mistress were here to witness this travesty.
어우, 조세핀 그만 좀 해.
Gosh, Josephine, that is quite enough.
신경 쓰지 마, 히스클리프.
Don't mind her, Heathcliff.
이 광경을 보시면 뒤집어지실 거야. 이 신성한 워더링 하이츠를 불황자들이 점령하고 있다니 기가 찰 노릇이지. 아무렴.
This blessed land of Wuthering Heights, reduced to an asylum for vagrants and drifters. If the mistress had been here to witness this tragic, deplorable state of affairs. There was an old woman in the room who was muttering some choice words at us while staring with her eyes full of hatred.
역시 망나니 자식답게 제일 늦게 기어 들어오시는구만. 무슨 자신감으로 이곳을?
Ah, the witless brigand returns, and quite delayed at that. How dare you show your face?
조용히 하십시오, 힌들리.
Hindley, please, exercise some restraint.
히스클리프, 정말 돌아올 줄은 몰랐는데.
Heathcliff, I hardly did expect your return.
캐서린을 잊지 못한 건가? 아직도?
You have yet to let Catherine go. Still? It was clear that the two had both been acquainted with Heathcliff for a while. But the nature of that acquaintance was more of a long-standing hatred stemming from the deep history of contention they shared. One of the two was hardly hiding his hatred, allowing it to fully seize control of his words and actions. But the other one's hatred had sunk deep into his heart, boiling and writhing underneath.
내가 뭐 성대한 환영 같은 걸 기대하고 이 저택에 돌아온 건 아니지만
Right. Wasn't exactly expecting grand welcome upon my return.
적어도 너희들 면상이나 보려고 온 건 아니야. 그 말대로 난 알맹이는 변하지 않았거든.
But I ain't here to see your ugly mugs. It's like you always said, my base nature's just incapable of change. Heathcliff shoots back with just as much vitriol. As though he was always used to this kind of scorn and humiliation. The man in a black suit turns away, as though it would degrade him to even entertain him with an answer. But this man they called Henley.
이 빌어먹을 자식이! 짐승만도 못할 새끼가!
You unscrupulous shite! You bloody animal! No, a thing lesser than a savage beast. Jumped up from his seat, his face turning bright red from anger.
또 어디서 니놈이랑 똑같은
I don't remember
것들을
these guys'
데리고
voices.
왔어?
There's too many characters in this game.
뭐라도 쑤셔볼 심산인가 본데.
By the looks of it, you found yourself a band of vagrants and vagabonds just like you, eh? Crawling back to see if there's something worth pilfering from this place.
어이 너네! 이 자식 정신 좀 차리게 두들겨 패라. 어디 한쪽을 부러뜨리기라도 하면 더 좋고.
You lot, beat his ass and teach him a lesson. Break a bone or two.
보스 명령 없어.
No orders from boss.
단말 말고 해! 그 보스라는 놈과 너희들을 고용한 건 나야!
Shut it. I'm your boss's boss and I hired him and the rest of you.
그래봤자 어디서 굴러 들어온 개 뼈다구보다 못한 놈들일 거다.
I don't expect these bone-headed fools to give you much trouble anyway.
뼈? 저자가 무엇 하는 것이오?
Head of bone? What on earth is that fellow speaking of?
그냥 신나게 두들겨 맞고 싶다는 소리죠. 뭐 그렇게 원하신다면요.
He's just expressing his explicit desire to get his ass beat. Well, since he asked for it, well, oh, let's get this party started. All right, team. Have at it, have at it. Got the dream team? Hell yeah, we do.
기다려라, 겉에. 곧 먹이를 먹여주지.
All right, fuck him up.
최선을 다해보지.
It's only one way.
방금 벌레발은 듣지 않다는 사람 누구야?
Oh my god. Holy shit, these guys are getting fucked. That's crazy, that guy's almost dead.
저거 봐. 쟤
There's only
휘청거리고
9
있다.
of them. Jesus.
목을 내놓고 있도록.
Okay, that guy's dead.
연장 솜씨가 현란하죠.
Okay. Jesus Christ. Oh, they're running away. They're not actually dead. That would make sense. Yeah, alright. In hindsight, maybe murdering people in the living room of Wuthering Heights is not the ideal route.
승객이 딱콩 한 방 먹여주다.
Okay, nice.
내가 알아서 처리한다.
금방 끝내고 버스로 돌아갈 수 있겠다. 그치?
Fuck him up, team. Fuck him up. I can't believe he only has 13 sanity right now. I can't believe he only has 14 sanity. I can't believe he only has 15 sanity right now. Why did he go back down to 0? What's happened? I don't know. What's it? Heathcliff fucking him up. That's good enough for me. Alright, nice hits.
다소 유리하구려.
위험인물 발견.
That guy's dead.
다 죽어라.
This other guy's about to be dead.
쏟아내라.
We got 2 left.
뚫리고.
Big damage. They're dead. They're both dead.
찢어 놓아주마.
He's dead. Goodbye. Goodbye. Say goodbye, everyone.
더 먹어. 내 죄는 내가 알아서
Okay.
처리한다.
Well done, team.
해파.
Barely even broke a sweat.
당연한 결과죠. 저는
Gotta watch the
선택받았으니까
post-battle scene now.
그렇겠죠?
좋아. 이제 살을 발라 뼈다구로 만들어주지.
Good. Now separate the bones from your flesh and personally introduce you to your own skull. Oi, lads! A casual yet powerful voice booms across the hall, immediately breaking the tension in the room.
잠깐 물 좀 마시려고 갔다 온 동안 무슨 난장판이 벌어진 거야?
I was gone just a minute to get some water. What the hell happened here?
저택은 또 빌어먹게도 넓어서 차라리 우물에서 물을 길어오는 게 나을 뻔했네.
This is one big fucking manor, eh? Would have been faster to get a bucket of cup water. Wait. Would have been faster to go bucket a cup of water from the well myself.
보스 손님이 옵니다.
Boss, we have a guest. Oh, so that's the boss, huh?
예. 걸음걸이나 한눈에 느껴지는 기색으로 보아 전투에 꽤나 능숙한 경험이 있는 자 같습니다.
Yes, executive manager. It is immediately obvious from the way he walks and from the way he carries himself that he is somewhat quite experienced in combat.
마침
Someone,
잘
not someone.
왔다. 네 잡졸들은 영 시원찮아. 이런 시정잡배 같은 놈들한테나 얻어맞아서 주저앉고 있었다니까.
Right on time. Your lackeys are lacking. How could they let this group of no-name hooligans knock them on their asses?
자, 본때를 보여줘.
Go on, show them the meaning of pain.
내가 아무래도 부하들 교육을 잘못 시켰나 보네.
Looks like I gotta get me men some proper demonstration. The boss confidently strode towards Heathcliff. Then gave him a playful smack on the back of the head.
마! 오랜만에 고향에 왔으면 말이야. 제일 먼저 형님한테 째깍째깍 인사를 박았어야지.
Oi, lad, ain't the first thing to do when crawling back into your neighborhood to give a quick hello to your dear old boss? Where'd you leave your manners? What the fuck?
너희 뭐냐? 얼른 예의 갖춰서 인사 박아라.
You lot, wipe that stupefied look from your faces and bow before him. Come on, hurry up, show some bloody respect.
뭐야? 설마
What? No, it can't be. The man waded past both the aftermath of the brawl and the heavy tension that filled the manor like he was out on a stroll. He just walked into the middle of it all. Then he put his arm around Heathcliff's shoulder. It was the kind of friendly gesture that only someone who's known Heathcliff for a long, long time could do. Ooh, mystery man. Well, he said it's his old boss, so assumedly gang-related. Catherine. I wonder if we'll meet her now.
매튜 형님?
Boss? Matthew?
그래 임마. 네가 조직을 얼마나 오랫동안 떠나 있었으면 그 악명 높은 미친 토끼 새끼를 알아보는 놈들이 하나도 없냐?
Right on, you muppet. You've been gone for so long that people don't even you've been gone for so long that people don't even recognize the infamous Mad Coney.
미친 토끼 새끼?
Mad Coney?
저놈이랑 옛날부터 아는 사이였냐? 왜 미리 얘기를 안 했지?
You've known that vagrant for long. Why haven't you told me so?
그거야 뭐. 옛날에 끈끈하고 땀내 나는 이야기까지 듣고 싶어 하실 줄은 몰랐어서.
Well, I hardly imagine you'd be interested in hearing about every little friend I made back when we were just another gang rolling in the sweaty, muddy streets.
형님은 왜 이놈이랑 아니 그것보다 그럼
Boss, why are you working with this blighter? Wait, no, but
이 가면 모양 토끼기?
that mask, those rabbit ears.
데드래비츠?
Wait, you're still with the dead rabbits?
올해가 좀 많이 변했지?
Yeah, we've, changed a tad, eh?
한쪽 어깨에 대충 두른 스카프와 외상으로 마신 맥주 한 병만 있었으면 그 망할 아담스 패밀리들 따윈 아무것도 아니었지.
Remember, lad? Back in the day, all we needed to crack some Adams family heads was some tattered scarf around one arm and bottles of beer on tap.
네 별명으로 이름이 붙은 맥주도 있었잖아. 그 집은 몇 주 전에 문 닫았어. 요새 흉흉한 소문 때문에 길거리에 나다니는 사람이 있어야 말이지. 나 참, 말이 돼?
We even named one of them beers after you, didn't we? The pub that used to sell that beer closed shop a few weeks ago. Ain't got much business around with that dreadful rumor keeping everyone home nowadays.
뭐? 늑대 몰락 펍이 망했다고?
What? All foreclosed? Bloody hell.
나만 아는 이야기를 해버렸네.
Oh, suppose I'm leaving you all out of the loop, eh?
뭐 소개를 해주자면
Well, allow me to introduce the gaffer.
이쪽은 옛날에 내가 몸담았던 조직의 보스.
He was a boss of the old syndicate I used to run with.
야, 동료들인가? 호련히 사라지더니만 멀끔한 회사에 취직이라도 했냐?
Hey, all friends of yours, eh? Joined some posh proper company after running out on us and out of nowhere, eh?
뭐 어쩌다 보니.
Well, things just sort of worked out that way.
부하들도 많이 생겼네. 걸어다니는 시계도 생기고. 아하하, 자식. 출세했는데?
Are all them lads and lasses your lackeys? Blimey, got a walking timepiece with you too. You daft bastard, you certainly moved up in the world, eh?
뭐?
Lackeys? Ishmael glared at Heathcliff with a look that could kill, but she decided to hold her silence and merely shook her head in disbelief. She probably decided it was not worth the trouble.
그런데 왜 이런 가면을 쓰고 다니게 된 거야, 형님?
So, what's up with the mask, boss?
왜? 이상하냐? 유행이라는 거는 매일 바뀌는 거야. 어깨에 토끼가 그려진 스카프를 매던 시기는 지났단 거지.
What, is it odd? Trends change with the time, lad. The time for scarves with rabbit embroidery is long past. I don't know what's going on right now.
그런 거야? 내가 보기엔 좀
Huh? That so? Looks a bit...
당연히 아니지. 우리 데드래비츠가 어디 샌님들처럼 유행 따라갔던 허접한 조직은 아니잖아.
Of course not. Who do you think we are? We the Dead Rabbits ain't a bookish rabble that follows the coattails of some naff trend.
너 정말 한 번도 돌아온 적이 없구나.
You've really not once returned to this place since you left, have you?
이 저택을 그리고 데드래비츠까지 떠나고 나서
No. When I left this manor, and eventually the Dead Rabbits,
적어도 성공해서 내 발로 돌아오기 전까진
I made a promise to myself that I'd not return.
다시는 어설픈 발걸음조차 하지 않겠다고 결심했거든.
Not even a step closer to this place until I've made something of myself. Not until I can return as a successful man.
하긴 너는 우리랑 어울리고 있었을 때에도 이곳을 혐오스러워했지.
Well, you've always hated this place, even when you were one of us.
있잖냐, 히스클리프. 우린 이제 뒷골목에서나 쏘다니던 갱단들이랑은 급이 달라졌어.
I've got news for you, Heathcliff. We're no longer the same lowly backstreets gang you're familiar with.
드디어 우리도 출세라는 걸 한 것이랄까? 약지 출신이었던 자가 우릴 눈여겨봤거든. 덕분에 이젠 몸집도 더 불어났고 꽤 잘 나가는 조직이 되었지.
I suppose we've also moved up in the world. Someone from the ring who'd been keeping their eyes on us plucked us right off the streets and into their fold. We're bigger now. We're one of the up-and-coming syndicates.
약지? 손가락 중 하나?
The ring? One of the fingers?
약지 중에서도 야수파 출신인가? 이런 시시껄렁한 동물 가면을 씌우는 건 그놈들 뿐이겠지.
Must be one of the fathers to the ring, then. They're the only ones who'd outfit their underlings with these cheap, tacky animal masks.
그럼 형님이
Then you're...
그래 임마. 데드래비츠 최고 보스가 되셨다.
Yeah, you little shite. I'm the top boss of the Dead Rabbits now.
형님
Boss?
우리가 마시던 맥주가 3병이 넘어갈 때마다 중얼거리던 말이 있었어. 기억나?
Remember what you always used to say when we've each filled up with more than 3 bottles of beer?
썩어가는 밀로 만든 싸구려 맥주였어, 히스클리프.
What we drank was some lousy beer made from halfway rotten wheat, Heathcliff.
기억나는 건 다음 날에 깨질 것 같은 두통과 텅 빈 주머니였지.
All that I remember coming the next morning was a pounding headache and the light feeling of our empty pockets.
형님 밑에 있는 놈들은 그 누가 됐던 간에 아무리 갓 들어온 신참내기였다 하더라도
You used to tell me that it hurt like hell every time one of your own men came back to us hurt, even the recruits.
어디서 얻어맞고 오면 자신이 맞은 것처럼 아프고 화가 난다고 했었지.
Like they hurt not just an underling, but an extension of you.
난 형님이 언젠간 정말 잘 될 거라고 생각했어.
I knew you'd make it big one day, boss.
뭐? 내가 술만 들어가면 폼 있는 말을 곧잘 짓거리곤 했지.
Well, I suppose drunk me knew how to wax poetic.
역시 매추 형님이 맞구나. 가면을 쓰고 있어서 그런지 다른 사람이 된 줄 알았어.
I knew it was you, Matthew. The mask threw me off for a minute, boss.
보고 있으니까 기가 차 죽겠군.
What a sorry sight this is.
감동적인 재회에 찬물을 끼얹게 되어서 무척이나 송구스럽습니다만.
I sincerely apologize to you two sweethearts for crashing your tearful reunion.
결국 네 놈이 길거리를 돌아다니면서 거렁뱅이 짓거리나 하면서 몇 년을 보내는 동안
But the point is, while you were wandering the streets wasting away the best years of your life on the road,
매트, 이자는 출세했다는 거지. 동시에 지금은 내 경호인이기도 하고 말이야. 알아들어?
Matt's made something of himself, which is why I hired him as my bodyguard. You hear me?
니놈같이 이름도 알려지지 않은 싸구려 양아치들이 모인 집단이 아니라
Not like you and your merry band of no-name second-rate hooligans. I can think of more than a few sinners who would have gotten angry enough to brandish their weapons at such an insult. But they all seem to remember that responding to such insults with violence only begot pointless turmoil. So, instead, they all began sighing heavily in an attempt to vent some of their pent-up anger.
힌들리, 아직도 나를 마구 짓밟고 조롱하고 개처럼 부려먹어도 되는 그 시절 겨울인 줄로 아는 것 같은데.
Henley, you seem to be sorely mistaken. This ain't the same winter you thrashed me, treated me like an indentured servant, and abused me like a hound.
물론 옛날엔 힌들리, 네 놈의 그 더러운 말을 내뱉는 혓바닥을 잘라버리는 상상을 수도 없이 했었지.
I won't deny that I spent many days and nights imagining tearing that foul tongue from your gob.
하지만
But Heathcliff glanced briefly in our direction.
나 같은 놈도 어딘가에 속해서 여기저기 돌아다니고 다른 놈들 보면서 배워가는 게 있어서 말이야.
Even a poor sod like myself found a place to belong. Went on adventures to places you couldn't even imagine. Learned a thing or two from them.
지금은 그냥 불쌍하네.
So I just feel bad for you, mate.
뭐?
What?
네 놈은 하나도 안 변한 것 같아서.
Because you really haven't changed one bit.
그리고 너
Besides,
꼬라지가 그게 뭐냐? 길거리를 떠돌다가 기어들어온 건 내가 아니라 너 같은데?
the hell is that rag you're wearing? You look more like a drifting vagabond than I do.
뭐? 이 건방진 놈이!
What? What? You insolent fool!
아까부터 욕지거리만 퍼붓고 있긴 하지만 저자
That man's been saying some pretty nasty stuff about us.
뭐라고 하고 싶은 마음조차도 들지 않는 건
He doesn't even look like someone that's worth arguing with.
야, 너 일주일 동안 거울 한 번이라도 보긴 한 거냐?
Mate, did you even check yourself in the mirror in the last week?
차마 눈 뜨고는 못 봐줄 정도인데 힌들리.
I can't even bear to look at you so down in the dumps, Henley. Of course, we had no way of knowing what Henley looked like in the past, but we could pretty easily tell that he was far from the most stable person in the room.
핸들리 씨, 진정하고
Something,
소파에
you,
앉지
yeah,
그래.
you fucking bastard. Now, Miss. Oh no, that's the boss. Now, Mr. Henley, why don't you seat yourself on this sofa and calm down?
우리 애들은 자리가 모자라는 바람에 그 푹신해 보이는 가죽 소파에도 못 앉고 있는데 말이야.
Be more considerate of our boys standing in that corner, watching the whole thing go down, huh? They don't even get these comfy-looking leather sofas. Henley grumbled for a moment before slumping down on a sofa. And even that simple action was stumbling and pathetic.
뻔하네.
I see what happened.
술에 먹힌 거야. 그것도 어마어마하게 크고 독한 술통에.
He let the alcohol consume him, and not the other way around. Fell into a big nasty barrel with no way out.
배에서 몇 번 본 적 있어요. 그러다가 헤어나오지 못하면 그냥 호수에 빠지는 거죠. 흔적도 없이.
I've seen the same look on some sailors. Failing to pull themselves out of that habit would lead them straight into the merciless maws of the lake. Not even a trace of them would be left.
뭐 일단은 내 고용주니까.
Well, this man's still my client.
사정이 있어서 핸들리 씨와 같이 일하는 중이야. 저자의 부탁으로 저택까지 오게 됐지.
Mr. Henley hired me for some job, which is why I'm here at Wuthering Heights.
부탁?
Job?
애초에 이 자리는 캐서린이 주최한 연애잖아. 그런데 무슨 부탁을 할 게 있다는 건데?
Catherine's hosting this banquet, ain't she? What kind of job could possibly need the dead rabbit's help here?
뭐?
What?
연회?
Ha! A banquet?
시간이 지나도 변하지 않는 게 여기 하나 있네. 그 아둔하고 쓸모없는 니놈의 대가리 말이야.
Well, I suppose there's one thing that hasn't changed with time. It's that witless, useless idiot brain of yours, you absolute dullard.
힌들리, 제발 그만하게 부탁이니.
Please cease this at once, I implore you.
내 저택에서 그런 지저분한 말이나 듣고 싶지 않아.
I do not wish to see my manners sullied by such foul obscenities.
네 저택이 아니라 내 저택이다, 린튼. 내 저택!
This is not your home, Linton. It's mine. It's my manor.
네가 갖지 않은 농락으로 훔쳐간 내 저택. 우리 아버지가 내게 물려주신 고귀하고 명망 높은 이 워더링 하이츠를.
You're the one who sullied this noble Wuthering Heights. My birthright bestowed upon me by my father, by taking it from me by the means of trickery.
네놈의 그 에드가라는 잘난 가문에서 내어주신 저택만으로는 모자랐던 거냐?
Was your own family manor too small for you, Linton Edgar? Your oh so noble Edgar family.
에드가 가문?
Edgar family?
소리 지르고 떼를 써서 물건을 뺏어갈 나이는 이제 지났네.
The time for whining, crying, and throwing a tantrum to get what you want is long past.
금방이라도 숨이 넘어갈 것 같은 새끼 주제에 어딨어?
Bold words for some milksop who was about to choke himself to death on air.
힌들리 씨, 물러나십시오.
Please maintain your distance, Mr. Henley.
개만도 못한 충성심을 가진 놈들. 몇 년 전까지 너희들이 받들던 주인은 나였다. 기억은 나냐?
I've seen mongrels more loyal than you lot. I was your master only a few years ago. Have you cast aside your memories as well when you did your loyalty?
그만하세요, 힌들리님. 힌들리 언쇼 쪽에 남아있는 버틀러들은 이제 없다는 거 아시잖아요.
Cease this at once, Master Henley. Butlers have all left Henley and Shaw behind, as you are very well aware yourself.
자, 너희들도 이 자리에서 더 이상 소란을 일으키고 싶은 건 아니겠지?
And you too, butlers. We do not want to make further trouble here,
알겠습니다, 넬리님.
Understood, Chief Butler Nellie. After a brief silence, Heathcliff finally brought up the question he'd been stewing for so long.
캐서린은 어디 있는 거야, 넬리?
Nellie, where's Catherine?
알잖아, 캐서린은 시끄러운 걸 못 견뎌 했어. 이렇게 많은 손님이 자기 집 한복판에서 소리라도 지른다면.
You must know, Nellie, that Catherine never did like these commotions. So many guests making so much noise in her home. She won't be pleased.
그랬지.
I suppose she never did.
나 아까부터 캐서린의 기분에 상하게 하고 싶지 않아서 계속 목소리를 낮추고 있단 말이야. 슬슬 참기 어렵다고.
I've been keeping my volume in check because I didn't want to offend her, but it's getting harder and harder to keep it down. There was a look of unfathomable, immeasurable grief on both Linton and Nellie. Oh boy. Henley was absent-mindedly mumbling some foul language at the ceiling, and Heathcliff probably sensed from this ineffably dark and ominous silence that something was terribly wrong. It was setting in for us as well. After all we've been through in this journey, this kind of silence was all too familiar.
캐서린은 대체 왜 안 나오고 있는 건데? 표정은 왜들 다 그따위고?
Where's Catherine? What's with the dour look on everyone?
미안, 히스클리프. 나는
I'm terribly sorry, Heathcliff.
미안하다는 말을 왜 하냐고?
Why are you sorry? What the hell are you on about?
히스클리프. 나는 이 분위기의 배경이 되는 사실을 유추할 수 있다.
I may have a correct assumption as to what this silence indicates.
그러므로 통상적인 표현으로서 너에게 지금 매우 유감이라는 말을 전할 수밖에 없다.
So I have no other choice but to tell you, as it is common courtesy to do, that I am very sorry to hear that.
아니,
What the fuck?
알아듣게 얘기해봐 좀.
Can't you talk normally for once?
이걸 너에게 어떻게 전해야 할지.
I hardly know how to tell you this, but
캐서린 아가씨는 여기 없어.
Miss Catherine isn't here anymore.
여기 없다는 게 어떤?
What do you mean she's not?
캐서린은 죽었다.
Catherine, she's dead. Oh. That's where we're going to end it for this episode. Good stopping point. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, leave a thumbs up. If you didn't, leave a thumbs down. If you'd like to see more, consider subscribing. I upload daily at 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock. As always, hope you'll have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next episode. So long, everybody.